So I'm going to do some muffins. Don't have to just be for breakfast, they can also be for lunch as well. I tend to make these at the same time as a banana cake recipe, which you'll be able to find as well online, because they literally take pretty much the same amount of time. So whilst the banana cake is being made, or banana bread if you want to call it that, I then make some muffins which are great for breakfast, afternoon snacks, for lunch. You can have them with salad, you know, you can have them hot or you can have them cold. With muffins you can put absolutely anything you want to, whether it's salmon, smoked kippers, feta, cheddar, ham, bacon, sausages, you name it. Don't be scared to put things in them. I like to go for kind of a slightly deeper muffin tray. You can get ones that fit 12 or 18, which are more kind of your cupcake size. But these are a fantastic size, and again, this is what I would kind of have for my lunch, or a pre-gym workout, especially if I'm going off to do a boxing session. You know, I want a bit of protein. Again, like I said in one of my other videos, I do eat eggs. I don't necessarily eat that much meat anymore, but I do have eggs in my diet. So this is definitely for somebody that, you know, isn't afraid or scared to eat eggs as such. Very, very simple to do. So as I said in one of my other videos, I use a company called Riverfood Organics Farm. They're amazing for fresh fruit and vegetables. So I've got some purple looking broccoli here. And with it, again, you don't have to be perfect with the way that you cut. You know, we're not Michelin star chefs. You literally just cut it and go. You know, chunkier the better for me. So all I'm going to mix in today is broccoli. I've got various different tomatoes, chilies, spring onion. I'm going to crumble some feta in as well, and a bit of seasoning, and literally mix it all together with the eggs. Put it into the oven for about half an hour. Let them cool down for 5 minutes, and then you have your muffins. So I'm literally just going to, you know, whiz through this. Again, like I said, you don't have to be perfect with it. Because it's muffins, I don't tend to use, you know, on this type of broccoli, the actual stems. Normally with other bits of cooking and recipes, I'm a huge fan of, you know, don't just eat the head, eat the whole thing. You know, there's so much goodness in them. Literally just cut them up. I'm going to cut them into small sizes because I know my sons later will be eating this when they get back from school. Again, just put it all into a big bowl. Absolutely everything, even all the little bits that kind of, you know, come off like the top of the heads, because it all gets mixed in. Tomatoes, again, you don't have to be perfect with the way that you cut them. Just cut them and put them straight in. I've probably got too many tomatoes here, so I'm not going to use them all. I like to add spice into mine, and I'm lucky that both my boys love broccoli and they love chili. I would say if you're a family with fussy eaters or children that don't necessarily like certain foods like broccoli, the great thing is you can kind of section off which parts that you want for yourself and which ones are for your child, and then you can add the extra bits that you like the broccoli or spices to it, once you've kind of put some of the mixture already into the muffins. So just cut everything up. It doesn't have to be perfect. I love using different types of tomatoes. It's one thing that's always in my fridge. I either, you know, cook them in a pan slowly and make my own tomatoes on toast instead of buying them in tins. I'm not a huge fan of sort of packaged products, you know, food as such. Everything that we buy off the shelf we can make ourselves, and I know it's all about having time and stuff as well, but in time when you kind of get used to cooking and, you know, your cupboards and your store cupboard and what you keep in the house, it becomes a lot easier. So I've got two different types of chili, green and red. You all know what they are. Again, as I said, I like my food to be kind of quite chunky. I don't cut things finely. You know, I like to actually see the food and taste it. And like I said, my boys aren't scared of hot food. So some of you might be thinking, oh my God, that's for a 3 and a 2.5-year-old. They love their spice. So literally just going to put that in there. I've then got some spring onions. All of this has been washed. And again, doesn't have to be perfect. What I'm then going to do before mixing into the actual mixture is I'm just going to ever so lightly sort of saute these off for literally 5 minutes, just to kind of give them that little kind of crispiness before they go into the oven. Otherwise they've kind of not had chance to cook through. and I preferred that kind of slightly more cooked kind of texture to them than just having them put in the oven, and sometimes it can make them a little bit soggy. These are large spring onions. You can get a lot smaller ones, but again, I prefer the flavour that kind of comes from the bigger ones. The small ones to me don't really taste of anything at all. One of the things to do with food, and you know, the food that I use and the food that I cook, it's all to do with gut health and hair health. So my background is all to do with hair loss and helping people grow their hair. On one of the sheets that you'll see in this video, my superfood sheet, it's all about the foods that you need to try and incorporate on a day-to-day basis. And I always say to people, you know, start small, kind of have like a 3-month plan. What I'm going to do now is just literally mix everything together. Use a small frying pan, it's entirely up to you, anyone will do. I just put a tiny amount of olive oil on here. I'm just using a griddle pan in this instance. But like I said, the food that I cook is all to do with gut health, promoting good and bad bacteria, because we need both, believe it or not. And I know a lot of people think, oh, we just need good bacteria, but we need both. And also creating variety, not having the same breakfast every day, which we all do. You know, it's very easy for us to go to the cupboard and have our special cake because we believe that's, you know, an amazing product to have and a food substance. It's not. To me, cooking from scratch, you know, gives me real happiness and real joy. And from day one with my boys, I've always cooked them their own food, even when it came to baby food, because I know what I eat. I was able to make them food and for them to have the food that I was eating, because there was no nasties. I'm not a huge salt person. I do obviously use seasoning for my food, but I don't overload when it comes to sort of salt in my food. So literally you can hear it sizzling away. You want to do that for sort of 3 to 5 minutes. That's why I kind of like these pans, because obviously they're great for cooking meat, and I find that they kind of, you know, they do what they say, they sizzle, and they get straight into the vegetables. With these you can add anything: carrots, onions, ham, chorizo, anything that you fancy in your muffin. You know, don't be scared to kind of put it in there. So that will just literally sizzle away for a few moments. So whilst that's being done, we need eggs. So for something like this big, I would, depending on the size of the eggs, use 4 or 5 eggs. All I'm going to do is I'm just using this bowl to actually crack them, and then I'm just going to put the eggs back into where the mixture went earlier when I was cutting and chopping. So I'm just going to leave that for a couple more minutes. While that's doing, all I do is literally just whisk the eggs, and then this is where your seasoning comes in. So a little bit of salt and pepper. I love to use either Himalayan pink salt or Cornish sea salt. It's a lot thicker, chunkier crystals of salt. You know, and you can definitely kind of taste it. Again, I'm not a huge fan, so I'm just going to put a tiny amount in there. For salt lovers, I always ask them to try and reduce their salt intake, so always kind of be careful with what you're adding. Pepper, I love. You can never have enough pepper, so just put as much as you want in there. Again, just whisk it all together. So now that should have kind of started to take to the pan. So I literally just take it off the heat. And then all you do is you're just adding it into the mixture. And then all you do is whisk it all together. It's so simple to make muffins. Really doesn't take that much time at all. If you've got children, it's a great way of kind of getting them involved with the cooking. You know, and you can get some really amazing child-friendly cooking utensils now. You know, for younger children, for 3-4-year-olds, to help them learn about fruit and vegetables and not kind of be scared of food as well. And then literally either tip or spoon in, I shouldn't say tip, should I really? I should say pour, into the muffin mixture. I like to use a spoon because you sometimes find some falls out more in some than the others. So literally, just in your muffin tray, all you do is put that into the oven. Well, actually what I might do, and I've forgotten, is to add some of the feta. Again, you just crumble that in. So I'm just going to get the feta and then just literally kind of cut it up. Messier the better. It's all about getting messy and not being scared. So, and then literally, because of the weight of it, it will actually sink into the muffins anyway, so it's not going to kind of stay on the top. Into the oven, and that will be ready in not so long. And you might be able to see, I don't know if you can see, the banana cake is rising. So, right, going to close that. I'm going to add some more time to the timer. So my fluffy muffins are all ready. They've been in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes. If you're adding a lot of ingredients to your muffins and quite sort of chunky foods, they will need slightly longer just for it to kind of like all stick together and glue together. Earlier I made a salad, very, very simple. It was just sprouts, spinach and watercress, and sticky drizzle from good old Jamie Oliver. Again, clean hands I've used. I literally just put the salad next to it. And I sometimes have this on a Sunday at like 11. I get up most days at 5, 6 a.m, not always by choice. And I would normally have like a plant-based protein shake. And then especially like on a Saturday, Sunday, if I'm having a home day with my boys, it gives me a bit more time to kind of make things and prep things for kind of the week. I'm not a huge fan of prepping my whole food for the week. Like you see people constantly uploading pictures of Tupperware boxes and they're having the same bloody thing all day, every day. I don't agree with that. It's not good for you. The gut needs diversity. You need to have different foods daily. And to me, with kind of the life and the busy schedule that I've got at work, coming home, creating a clean environment, I've always got a neon candle on no matter what I'm doing, no matter where I'm working, because I love the smells. And it kind of creates that happy environment, and I really find that I switch off in the kitchen with cooking. So this can be a lunchtime snack. These have just come out of the oven, so obviously they're quite hot, but again, you can let them cool down, you can take them in your lunchbox, you can have them cold, you don't have to have them warm. The great thing is you can also freeze them as well, so you can make quite a big batch and put them in the freezer, and then let them defrost and again kind of eat them cold, a bit like a quiche in a way. And they're great for pre and post workout at the gym because of the protein with the egg, and everything else that you can kind of put into them, like the broccolis, you can put carrot, all sorts of vegetables, tomatoes, leeks, ham, meats. You know, there's a huge option and different choices. You can add extra things like avocado. I'm not going to do it today because I just don't fancy having an avocado today. But literally, you'll find that they're very, very soft and fluffy. They smell amazing. And yeah, I'll have that now for my lunch. And then obviously I can save these for this evening for my son's dinner. Or Ashton will probably eat that tomorrow for breakfast before school. And you can also add more drizzle onto the muffin as well, or you can add hummus or other kind of sides to it as well. But yeah, this is a great food option for breakfast, lunch, dinner and snacks. And even if you're going on road trips, you know, to kind of have these in the car and to have for yourself or children or anybody is a really amazing alternative to having a McDonald's drive-through or KFC, kind of just preparing and prepping your food.